Staff it covers 264.156 acres. Staff's recommending a 25% royalty rate fixed, a 3-year primary term, delay rental of $20 per acre, and a $100 per acre minimum bid. Also, that there be no surface use of the tract without prior written consent of Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. As far as the minimum bonus, this tract has been leased, it was leased in 2009 for $102 and leased in 2012 for $104. So that's where staff's come up with a recommendation. There's not a lot of other state land that's comparable in this area that would lead us to have any other recommendation than that. There has been production historically in the area and on the park itself. I know it's hard to see, but there's some oil wells that kind of go in a line along here, which is indicative of a channel sand. So that would likely be the target. These wells did produce from the Fentis field from 1983 to 1992. Hasn't been any production since. So a lot of this is depleted. They may be looking for additional infill drilling. As far as land use on the property, currently has I assume it's still operating, a 9-hole golf course on the property.
Yes, it is, but yeah, I think our golf courses are getting less and less use all the time.
A lot of the property's wooded, but there again, Parks and Wildlife would control any surface use if it's necessary. Some of these wells may need, since they're shallow, about 1,700 feet, it'd be unlikely you could directionally drill them. So potentially they would have to enter on the park. And that's staff's recommendation.
Is adjacent land leased at all, do we know?
It's all private, so I'm not aware of any leases in the area. And it's difficult to find comps on private property because typically the only gas lease will just say $10 in OVC. But there's only been a single bidder the last 2 times, and like I said, it was right at about $100 per acre.
You know who bid it last 2 times? Was it same?
I think it was a broker. I can't recall who it was.
So just to be clear, 25% royalty?
Yes, sir.
And then what were some of the other terms? I didn't quite catch.
A $20 per acre delay rental, a 3-year primary term, and if you want, here's and a $100 per acre minimum bid.
Okay.
So if they bid the minimum, it would be about $26,000, $26.4 thousand. As far as royalties received, it was leased in 1983 and produced, like I say, until about 1992, and the state received $480,000 in royalties. So there has been revenue generated from this park, from these 5 wells that were within the park, which are now plugged.
Any other questions at this time?
I don't have any. Courtney's comfortable with the
Yes, sir.
surface, then
Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion we adopt staff recommendation.
I second.
Motion is made, seconded, and carried unanimously to approve item number 2. There being no further business before the board, the meeting is hereby adjourned.